Oh, darn it. Thank you guys. I even made sure that the microphone was on, but I didn't unmute. I kind of changed my layout, so I think I just yeah, sorry. But hi Maria, hi Arnaldo. I'm so sorry. I'm laughing at myself and I'm getting red. All right. Anyways, wow. Well, for anyone who could read lips, that was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't that great. I was just saying what we're going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about, what please chime in, of course, always, but like the little topics that I have on my agenda for today. So, South by Southwest, all the stuff. Lori, Paul, not so much Paul, but Lori, Paul, Anna. I'm going to talk about. I made a TikTok and I tried to share it on Instagram and YouTube as a short on YouTube, but it didn't because it's too long, whatever. But I made a TikTok and I want to get more in depth. And what I was saying just now was that I'm here to present some data and then whether or not it's the data is leading to what it seems like it's leading, as far as why Anna, based on her past, might have had this feud, and it wouldn't be a feud if it is what it is. With these like clues put together are where it goes, the breadcrumbs or what, but not breadcrumbs in like a marketing strategy. So if that's true, then it's not so much a feud, but more so like just making sure she keeps her mental health and like self good. Um, so yeah, that's I can't believe that as soon as I like, well, half an hour after I stopped my live on Friday, I was like, oh shoot, I had forgotten about that part. Anyways, so Anna, Lori, South by Southwest stuff, Brandon. I was saying it wasn't. It was on mute. I was saying I have a fourth theory that literally happened while I was here. What if he's just trying to stay relevant? And I'm glad that the video wasn't captured because I was being just that catty YouTuber kind of sentiment where, like, it's more like gossip. Like, "Yeah, guys, what if this?" But that's like a valid theory, not a valid. What's a valid theory and what's an invalid theory at this point? But it's something that popped into my head that has something to it. Like, what if he's just trying to, like, this part is more of a joke. Like, what if he's like feeling left out from this lawsuit? He wouldn't. But like, I don't know. It popped into my head, and I was like, oh, that might not be too far off, even if it sounds absurd, because what he said, his interview and everything, and I'll share that, of course. Hi, P. Um, sounds good. And yeah, what he said and how he said it, just like, to me, I saw it first on Popcorn Planet's Instagram. Then I don't even remember. I saw it so many times already. And every time that I saw it, or like after a few times, I'm like, okay, maybe I have these like other theories. Maybe I have, I'm like with the theories that people are throwing out. But also, what? My first impression, I'm like, what? What is that? He said nothing and a lot. What in the world did he say? What was the point of that? Anyway, so talk about that. I also mentioned this is just a personal, we won't talk about this, but it just because I have like a little screenshot of her comments because I loved it. But Lauren's live and she is like taking over my spot. I'm like, Lauren, 9:15, really? She didn't either. She like saw it and just like, oh, whoops, or ignored me, or she didn't see my chat message. But yeah, I'm like, hey, I literally have it in my banner on my YouTube channel, 9:15. But anyways, we're going to talk about a cute dog, such a cute dog, Isabella Ferrer's, and oh, a few more things that are not so related. If we get to it, if we feel like it, if there's time, going a little bit into the film stuff, as far as Timothée Timothee Chalmet, um, and his speech at the SAG Awards when he won, because that came up in my acting class. Um, and yeah, that was like an interesting food for thought, for like just as a social commentary, not so much about film really, but it is related to him. And then with Love, Meghan, I did watch two and a half, almost 2.5 episodes of it, and I have thoughts. I have thoughts kind of across the spectrum. And I'll start, spoiler, spoiler to my own video. Um, she is Meghan of Sussex, or Meghan Duchess of Sussex. It is on their, the royal official website. So she wasn't wrong. Because people are saying, I think Zach Peters, I saw say, like, oh, like they, did he say abdicated the throne? Because he wasn't in line for. I mean, he has some while to go. I think Harry, but like they left. So now they're not that name. Blah 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 blah. So I was like, don't all like my word here. Don't take my word for everything. Don't take anyone's word. That's why I try to include the sources that I got information from, that I'm talking about, where I found things, and I try, but I fail so much because it's so much, and somehow I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing like 1% of the research that I would love to do. But yeah, like, don't trust anyone. Not saying that, anyone is doing it on purpose, but it's just kind of, sometimes it gets like the telephone game, and then, yeah. And I'm not even sure if I'm correct and they just forgot to change the names on the royal family's website. I don't know. Maybe Zach Peters is onto something. I don't know. I didn't see the birth certificate of their daughter, which was creepy to mention. Um, but yeah. Anyways, but again, my opinions on all of this Meghan thing is like all over the spectrum. It's going to be a rainbow, like all of this is a rainbow now. But yeah, so hi everyone. Um, she's married. I like Zach, but he's wrong about Meghan. It's just petty. Yeah, it sounded very petty, and there is one thing we can all agree on, that some people hate her, and some people at least like her, if not love her. I don't know, but there's a lot of pettiness. There's a lot of like looking, you know, my a therapist that I used to have would tell me, like, the radar depends on what you're looking for. Like, yeah, you can have the radar going, and if you're expecting to see bad, let's say, if you're expecting to see her like fail or make a mistake or be like, oh yes, I knew she was fake, or you're going to get those clues. And if you don't expect that, you're not going to get those clues. And to be objective is really close to impossible as a human being. But, even close to that objectivity is hard, especially when it comes to people that we don't really know. So I don't know. But for one reason or another, and this is one of my points, I'm getting ahead of myself, I guess, but she rubs people the wrong way for sure, and she rubs me the wrong way in some ways, and in some ways I can see like, oh, this isn't a big deal or whatever. So I don't know, just throwing my 2 cents in, because that's a big topic. I didn't think that I was going to watch. I didn't plan on watching this, on watching her show. um Stay tuned for if I'm glad that I did or didn't. Yeah, maybe I'll figure that out, because I don't know. I don't have an answer for that right now. I don't know if I liked it or didn't. I'll say that I didn't feel like, oh, this was a waste of time, like Honora. So let me soft start with that. It is kind of on here. The only thing I have to say about the Honora conversation is I posted on TikTok, hey guys, why the people that like Honora, why do you like her? Let me know. I wish it was that short, but it wasn't, and people might have not understood what I was doing. Maybe people understood, because I was like kind of triggered by it. Like, why is this? Why did this win? And some people answered me, and I was like, okay, I don't agree, or oh, okay, I didn't think about it that way, or whatever. Some people were like, well, some people just have good taste, or those kinds of comments. I'm like, that doesn't answer anything. That's such an intelligent answer. So you don't know why you like Anora, or you're a sheep. Okay. So that was like interesting. That's all I have to say about that. I do want to make a standalone like video, probably not alive, not sure, although I really like this border thing happening. It's making me so much happier. The clouds were like happenstance, and I just threw something together and felt not exactly me. This feels a lot like closer to me. But yeah. And also rainbow, because I don't have habits, and then I can't land on like a favorite color or a color scheme. So this way, it kind of can change all the time. I wish that maybe I can find out like how it can move constantly. But anyways, so yeah. He thought her showing baby Archie was a unique thing for the BRF. The royal family have been showing their newborn. Wait, that was new. I thought they aren't showing their children. Or wait, what? That's what Zach said? Because they always come out right like from the hospitals, like, there we go, this is a baby. uh, what? That's weird. I still haven't seen one of his full episodes, just because I don't know, it just doesn't keep me engaged. But when I saw him on Donna's shows, like, oh, he's interesting. But yeah, just like I'm sure people feel about this too. It's hard, like with lives on replay, it's hard to like keep up with it. Well, no, like I watch mostly on replay, like Donna and Donna. She worked in the entertainment for over 15 years. No bad stories from cast and crew about her. Oh, really? I knew her from Suits. I liked the show. It was a popular show here. Yeah. I saw Suits only last year or 2 years ago, and I was surprised that I liked it because I thought it was going to be, I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I loved it. She is not my favorite storyline. It's okay, but my favorite were, whatever his, I don't even know their names, but the main lawyer, the like, main character sort of lawyer, and then, which is hard to say because they were all kind of, but and his secretary, like legal secretary. And I think I loved it especially. I loved their storyline especially because I saw that they were like best friends in real life and they lived together when filming, I think, and stuff. And even though I think they're both married or they were, with other people at a time, I'm like, that, oh gosh, humans do exist, true friendship and all that stuff. But also just the way that they played off, I don't know, it was good. It was just they had that good chemistry. And I think, people said that, or say that, or even the actors themselves say, Zendaya and Timothée, um, they say that like, oh, it's weird to like have to kiss your, or to have your like best friend or friend be your love interest. And I would say, I would think the opposite, because if you're really that friendly, and also you're both actors, they were like actors since like college, that's how they met, I think, or like early on in their careers they met at a thing. And like you I don't know, I think it's so much easier, and I think the chemistry is also so much more easily there. um and you also, I think, have that like boundary that isn't even a boundary because you aren't interested in each other. I don't know, so I like Suits. Long story. Oh my god. Hi, Ryan. Oh, hi. You're like like the first person I know in real life that's, well, no, the second person that I know that's watched. But hi, sorry, everyone. King Rye Dog, which for the longest time I didn't know how to pronounce the screen name. Um, I don't. I like it. Always like made me think of something else. I don't even know what at that time. But yeah, we were extras on a movie, and that's how we met. And yeah, so so cool. And he streams. Are you still streaming on YouTube or are you on Twitch? He was streaming like gaming streams. I think. I don't know. Do you still do that? Um, yeah. That's so cool. Welcome. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how long you can last. It's I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, welcome. Thank you for being here. For like like yeah, happenstance, serendipity. Um but yeah, sorry. Let me finish with the chat. I live under a rock. What field in entertainment? All I know is Henry married outside royal. She was an actress on Suits, and she's also kind of a nepo baby in the sense that her dad, right, was a cameraman. I think her grandparents were some. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'll look that up when it gets there. Let me put that down here. But she herself was an actress and also an activist. She was, um, I, the older that I get, when I was younger, it didn't seem one way or another, but the older that I get, I'm amazed and in awe of people like Selena Gomez and Meghan Markle, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, Meghan. And other like young celebrities, like 20-year-old, not even celebrities, people, but especially celebrities that are involved. They travel, they are involved with things like UN and all sorts, and actually help and like physically go there to these places that need help, extra help, or um, like to learn or whatever. So, yeah. Okay. Film history. All right. So put that note in there. I watched with love because I liked her lifestyle site called Tig. Yeah, which she started way before dating. Maybe I should just start with this now because we're like talking about it so much. Um, but I kind of want to start with the Blake stuff. But yeah, and Tig is something. Really, what inspired me to watch this was Elsie was talking about it on her live, and she didn't do a live today. And they mentioned this. Like, people, I guess, are saying, oh, she's a wannabe. What did I see today? I forget who I saw today that was talking about, like, Billy Bush, that she's a wannabe Gwyneth Paltrow, basically. He didn't say it exactly like that, with Goop. And I don't know, people that were saying that. And it's like, no, she did that a while ago. I remember she was on, oh gosh, not Jay Leno, whatever his name is. And sorry, like no disrespect, because I think he just like isn't with us anymore. But the famous, I think he was on CNN, Larry King, and she had this like love for calligraphy. And I think something that I think I don't know if she started it on set, but so many actors start things on set, like play ukulele, not because of the role, but just because they're waiting, or they learn to crochet and knit. That's a popular one, I guess. Things like that. So, I don't know. To me, I guess like if I didn't know that, maybe I would have thought the same. That was like an opportunistic thing, which I don't even know. Okay, there's so much to say, but anyways, let me get through the Blake content, and then we'll end with like a nicer note because the whole Blake stuff, it's more annoying, more and more annoying every day, all the time. So I just want to get past it, and anything besides that is going to be better. Um, wasn't action. What movie didn't you hear about, Maria? Oh, With Love is the TV show on Netflix. Meghan's TV show. With Love, Meghan is the name. I'm someone on Twitch, but recently been wanting to get more into recorded, edited content. Good luck. I'm like doing the opposite. I think I've maybe not abandoned for good, but for a long time. I don't plan on doing any edited content anytime soon. It didn't really align. I've spoken about this a couple of times already, but yeah, it didn't align because I really like the interaction. And when you have that, you interact like later if you're lucky to have people have comments. And if you're lucky to have people in the chat too, because I have, there are moments when I don't have anyone. It's like, oh, should I even be here? Because the whole point to me is like the interaction. But yeah, edited, like previously recorded content is also cool because you can make a lot more with it and you can spend a lot more to like refine it and stuff too. So good luck in like a meaningful good luck kind of way, not like, good luck. Um, but yeah, I will keep everyone go check his YouTube out, his YouTube channel. Can I do this? Wait. Oh, wait. Oh no. I mean, not oh no. Oh, what was that? Shoot. Where is the Okay, I'm going to go back to this cuz I forget. What is this? To the chat overlay. I forget which one is the chat overlay. Media source? No. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Oh, found it. Okay. Because this one is definitely. What? What is happening? What is happening?
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. Hi. Nora, directed by Sean Baker, has made quite a splash.
I'm sorry.
Quite the splash.
That was the wrong link. So, that was fun. Technical difficulties over here. Okay, now we're talking. Woo. There we go. So check him out. I'll post his YouTube link at the end, and I'll post it here in the chat as well. What else? I wish you could. I hate that you can't. When I was a moderator on Lauren's channel, I was able to go to people's profiles or choose to go to people's profile. And I hate that you can't otherwise because, like, maybe they have. What? Well, can you post if you're still here, Ryan? Can you post your channel name and I'll just post that because I can't find it really quickly. But yeah, I hate that you can't just do that, or maybe it's just me, but I wasn't able to except for that. And I always like am curious. Sometimes people sound really interesting. I'm like, oh, I want to follow them if they have a channel, and I never know. All right, so Maria with love, yeah. Oh yeah, Martha Stewart was the other one, yeah. Um, Martha Stewart, she's reinvented herself in a way. Kate Middleton by her maiden name. She's a Windsor. Yeah, and we say Kate Middleton all the time. Um, Princess Kate, I think now. People don't like Markle. Why does it have to do with marrying Harry? I guess I mean, it's kind of, I, I don't know if it's like, I don't know, royals. I don't, I don't know that much about royal family, but um, P, if you know why it's like, is it insulting, or is it just like how someone, like, if Blake Lively would, which maybe legally she did change her name to Blake Reynolds. I always call him Reynolds because that's how it's spelled. Um, and some people are like touchy about that. She was saying that she wants to be Meghan of Sussex, or Meghan Sussex, or Meghan. Why should like I get demonetized because of this word? But of Duchess of, or whatever, because that's, she shares that with her kids. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, does it have to do with marrying Harry? Well, good, but yeah, it's just that. Yeah, that's what I typed, but I couldn't. So that's why I was like, can you just put the whole name? When I type that, at least for me, it doesn't come out. Oh, now it does. Maybe it was a typo. Okay. They say she's like Blake. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is, I think, in my thumbnail, right? I think it's in my thumbnail. So, all right. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to stop reading the chat because I want to, like I said, I just want to get past all the Blake stuff. Eat the dinner and have dessert. Is that too weird to say? I don't know. That's a good question. Do you do your homework, or in school, did you do your homework before the weekend? Or, or did you wait until the last minute? Because I was the last minute person. Or like eating dessert before, you know, the regular food, or vice versa. People say not to do one or the other. But yeah. Yeah. I didn't go to the Oscars, but yeah. No, it was the Hood Oscars. Hood School of Acting. I almost said of movies. Yeah, it's a school. It's online. If anyone wants to take classes, actually, I can see you there. It's online for it. The online classes have like a lot of international people. But anyways, it's a local school here, and they put on an Oscar party every year, and that's where that photo was on my Instagram. That's what he's referring to. Yeah, I don't know if I wish that I would go to the Oscars. That's the other part, is the older I get, I don't want to not get famous, because just in terms of like, I want to have a voice as far as like what fame would mean to me. That's what I want out of fame. But then it comes with other stuff that the older I get, I'm like, I don't want the other stuff with it. But yeah. And this, speaking of all this Blake stuff, oh my gosh. But I also did talk about, that was last Monday that I talked about, was that Monday or Sunday? I don't know. But I am making another video. I want to make another video. I was just talking about this, if you weren't here, on the movies, my reviews, because I have unpopular opinions, I guess. Did you like Honora? Did you see Honora, Ryan? Because yeah, I did not like that. I did not get it. I get in the sense of, I get, filmmakers sometimes like films that people don't like, if that makes sense. But yeah, okay. All right. So let's start with, oh, side note, not a side note. No, I'll talk about that later. We'll close this live with are content creators just taking advantage? Are they just opportunists around the Blake Lively thing? Donna, I think, mentioned this, that, yeah, on Billy Bush's podcast. All right, so ta-da! This lovely. I just pulled the Google search of her. I could not freaking believe that this is happening. I could not believe that she was, sorry, I'm trying to like move this up. Gosh darn it. There we go. So it's a little cleaner. I'm not that familiar. Okay, yeah, I hadn't seen movies in years until 2 weeks before the Oscars, because I'm going to this school, and because I'm getting back up onto the path of like going, becoming a director, a film director. I don't know if I will, but getting up back on the path of trying to. And so I was like, oh, I should watch these movies or whatever. I watched Sing Sing, and that's where I was like, oh, I need to watch them all. It was just such a lovely experience, especially because I hadn't seen anything besides reality TV. Hate to say that, but reality. Reality. That's the real thing. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these are not on streaming, but some are. Okay, so Lori Feig, this lady. I don't know if this was her idea. What makes me think it was kind of her idea is, I can't, can I? Yeah, I can just zoom on this. Let's just go to this one. What is that? What is that? I will say that Blake Lively felt extremely uncomfortable. This this feels so weird having you here, Ryan, because I'm like, this feels like, I don't know, what do you think about this? Don't judge me. um but anyways, it's a long story why I'm like covering this topic, but basically because of the directing little, having done directing a little bit on the amateurs, 48-hour movies. I was going to say stupid movies, but yeah, they weren't that great, but his lawsuit like really got to me, so that's why I'm in this. But yeah, anyway, so uh yeah, this like grasp for life, like, why it just feels forced, and she's smiling to the camera, to this camera. And when do they have, who had the let me see if I can find the video, because the way that Lauren, it breaks my heart. The way that she talks to Lori, how Blake talks to Lori, is, people said like, "Oh, don't you know her?" It sounded uncomfortable. It sounded like, "Oh, why are you here?" I don't know, but maybe that's just me. I'm going to give her this benefit of the doubt, because I mean, that's what it sounded like to me. Um Gosh, there's so many. Also, I saw this whole panel, not a whole thing. Honestly, I kind of got bored because I don't know. But I saw some of it, and Anna did not look uncomfortable, except for at least the part that I watched, which was like the first, I don't know, 10 minutes or whatever. At least in that part where um she, Blake was just trying really hard, and in that moment I was like, I'm so over this person. She's really like, it's like nails on chalkboard in my brain watching her talk. um because I think also because I'm watching so much of her and stuff. But yeah, this is just like a extra TV shoot. Do not care about that. Is it this? I don't know who. No, this is just like the big one. I don't even know, how is all set up or whatever. But, anyways, yeah, technically, Lori should not be on the other side of these little fences. She's the director's wife. So, my theory, and this might not be original, but I haven't heard anyone's theory besides like just asking what the heck was she doing there. And it seemed like, why are you, Blake, pretending like you don't know her? This is so annoying. I wish that. Oh, this is new. This is different. I wish that. Gosh darn it. it would be easier to search for things. This is where I kind of do like the idea of AI. Like, can we get this to be better? What is this thing? This is interesting because we didn't see anything like this.
Hello, South by Southwest. Welcome to another Simple Favor. Premiere. Hello, South by Southwest.
The music. Oh my gosh. I hate these. I actually, some of these channels, I kind of like report, like, not interested. Don't share this to me. Anyways, okay, I'm not going to find it. But anyway, she goes up to her and she sounds very uncomfortable. It's really annoying me that I can't find this stupid video. So yeah, Maria, like, I don't think that she was acting like she didn't know her. She was acting like she actually wasn't faking that she didn't know this person. She was acting uncomfortable. You're making me really, like, not you, like, this isn't like a criticism. This is making me really want to search for this freaking video. Okay, let's try Google. Also, just, I can't say Feig because I literally, like, in my notes I have FIG, Fig. So I need to, like, say their name, how it's supposedly supposed to be.
You need to look yourself in the mirror. Old enough. If you search your soul, I think you're going to find.
Well, Blake doesn't need that. These are just pictures. Oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Does anyone know who has... No, this is
time we discussed the...
Oh, that's loud. Watch her content always. It's cool. Maybe she has a clip. Let's see. This is just so frustrating to me. I have, like, for once I was so prepared. I have all my little links opened, ready to go, except this freaking one that I didn't think of, except to, like, talk about. Ah, man. I really am, like, seconds away from just giving up. What do you call it? Barricade? I don't I don't think that's what you call it. Oh, let's see. Maybe this one. Okay. She says, like, I'm so happy, I think.
That's Lori Feig in her fangirl moment. Blake did not look... That's...
Lori said, I appreciate it or something. She said, it almost looked like she was saying, I love you, or I love that you're here. I don't know, because it cut off as soon as she went behind Lori. She looked like she knew this person. To me, I'm sorry, but it looks like Blake knows this person. But she wasn't expecting to see her, maybe. There's some level of uncomfortableness here where it almost looks like, oh, hi, like, I'm surprised to see you over here, which maybe that's why people felt like she didn't recognize her, or she didn't know who she was, because she's not supposed to be on that side. So my theory, like I said, and also because she was freaking holding on to her for dear life. Look at that. Now tell me, who holds someone like that? First of all, if you're a fan, that's harassment. That is, Blake's, she could have maybe not a legal case against that, but, she could say that compared to other stories that we've heard. But also, if you know, like, what is her deal? I hate to talk like this. I'm like turning into a YouTuber. But like I just don't know how else to say it. What is her end goal? What is she doing? The way Elsie was saying it, Blake's fan, it does seem like that. It seems like she's she's put Blake on this pedestal or something. But it also seems fake at the same time. But maybe it seems fake because logically it has to be fake because she's the director's wife. So it just doesn't add up. In not I don't even know in what way. But anyways, so that's my 2 cents on this. Like I think that Blake was just being like, "Oh my gosh, hi, how are you?" Or whatever she said. And either she didn't know that this was going to happen or she knew, and I don't think Blake wanted this. This is I maybe an unpopular opinion. I don't think Blake wanted this. Other stuff, I don't think this. I don't know. Maybe I'm very off and wrong. It just doesn't seem like that. But the grip that Lori has on her, that to me screams like anxious older woman, like not older woman, old woman, like 60s, kind of 50s, whatever, that has that like literal anxiety. And it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm anxious because I'm meeting this star or I'm anxious because whatever, but this like helicopter parent anxiety, that kind of anxiety. And like, I need to control everything. I need to control everything. That's what it's giving me. And yeah, I don't think, I think Blake just kind of went along with it. And sorry, I keep saying my theory is that however this came about so she looked like she had more fans, although they had a lot of people in the other shots. So I don't really know what this is. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the VIP section because there were all these people. Was it in the same one, the guy with the checkered suit thing? I'm spending way too much on this. This does not deserve this much time. But is this like, none of us know, but I wonder, like, is this like a reference to the movie? It better be a reference to the movie because why would you show up this way? Neither of them matched. Like, no one matched on that cast. He's a cowboy. Anna was like, I call her Anna suddenly. Anna was in this like, glamour version of a professional suit sort of idea, an artistic interpretation of that. But it was like kind of normal fabric. Then you have Blake in a boba latex dress. I put it in the fridge, but I literally got boba today, and I posted. I did not know about that when I posted my TikTok video, and someone commented, and I saw it after my friend already told me, like, did you hear that everyone's like saying that she had a boba dress on? I'm like, no. And like, the person who commented is like, this why you got boba? But but yeah, whatever his name is, gosh, I hate that I don't remember his name, but I think it was it Emily's husband that Anna's character took, or vice versa? I don't remember. Anyways, he was, I don't know what that was with this little. At least he had the color of the movie in his collar, but that was an odd choice of a suit. It didn't. It was odd. No one dressed in theme or anything, or even matching. Like, it was just, it was interesting. But anyways, moving on from this, I'll read your messages here, but once that's done, that's done. But I that I'll stand by it, and I will maybe be proven wrong, but I don't think Blake was like, yeah, let's put her behind. But I think people who did put her behind, and I would bet a lot that Lori herself put her, like, she had this idea, like, oh, let me go, be an extra fan, you know, so I can show to these cameras, like, how much I love her and all this stuff. And she has someone, but she had other fans. But Just maybe because of the way that her Instagram comments came across. I don't know. But yeah, Nora. Wow, yeah, Lori, Feig, shake my head for sure. Awesome. Still, I know definitely a Blake supporter. I don't even know if she's like a Blake supporter or she just freaking is very invested in this movie for some reason. Blake acted like she didn't know her. Stepping away for a moment, gotta get food from awesome. What food? That's my favorite question when people mention that they're making food. What food are you making? Oh, wait, I also noticed something on the screen. There we go. Put my logo on top. Not really my logo, but I called it that because it's like this whole thing. Anyways, um, why is she behind barricade and not on the red carpet with Paul? Yeah. So, okay. So if this was like special VIP barricade, because I think it was like across the street there were the fans, and I say in quotations because we don't know if they were paid or not. She does have fans. She does have millions of followers still, and there's people who don't know this or people who are on her side. So probably they were legit fans, but one way or another, it was like normal people. And then on this other side, it seems like they're on the theater side, on the red carpet side, and it seems like she is at the red carpet actually, right? Because like the red carpet seems to be like behind there, right? So Bethany Frankel was saying that it's starting to feel a little bit like bullying. And this might be kind of like we were talking about with Zach Peters or Peter, and his thoughts on Meghan Markle, Meghan Sussex. I don't even know. Yeah, Meghan. Um, and how like it's a little bit like we want things to look bad. We want things to be outrageous. And I kind of fell into that trap because I think she was on this side of like the reporters sort of. And it was just like an extra photo op that they arranged or whatever. So like it was like one side, sorry, on this on that side, wait, sorry, I'm like on that side were like the fans, whatever normal people that I guess, that you can say why was a fan from there inside. Okay. And then on this side, it seems like it is on the red carpet right there. So, but why did they not photograph together? That's a good question because I didn't see, but maybe we just didn't see the photographs. But I didn't see a photograph with Lori and everything that I mean. Literally, this is what I put in the search bar, and she's there again. Look at that! Like she is just like milking it. But see the red carpet. So she was on the side of like the VIP, the creators, the reporters, the whatevers. Oh, here's the guy. So that's why he was there. So, yeah, yeah, she said that there weren't a lot of fans there. It wasn't as full as it's showing. She said there were a small section. Yeah, I saw her video on her channel, and I saw that it was sparse, and of course, like with angles, you can make it look like bigger, but I mean, either way, does whatever. I my heart goes out to Blake just because, especially if she cares a lot about appearances, like it seems like she does, and ego has like ego blows, like hits, and she feels like that sucks. It sucks for me when I'm alone on this chat, but to show up at a premiere and you're pretty big and you don't have the amount of people that you usually have or that is expected otherwise to have because of what's going on, like it's definitely like I hate that feeling. That's why I'm like, I'm not suddenly a Blake Lively fan or whatever, but I hate that feeling. It hurts like your physical being. But anyways, yeah, Lori's like just happy. She's just like whatever. But why didn't she take a picture with, you know, her husband? I know, because she's taking pictures elsewhere and like the original movie. I don't know. Maybe she's in the doghouse because he's like, stop commenting on my Instagram. You're making things worse. I don't know. Why is she behind? Yeah, the barricade. But yeah, breaking news. Lori was by the red carpet. She was behind the barricade that was linked to the red carpet. So tell everyone, tell all the content creators if they didn't say that. Because they probably didn't. Because we're all, like I said, I think we're all just like, ooh, you know, what can we tear apart? She wanted to get away. Yeah, I think that I see someone in Blake. I see someone that absolutely recognized who she was, but it just was awkward for her. Because she touched her chin. Like, I don't think she does that to fans. She was seemingly, at least, again, what we're sort of seeing. I've not watched her closely with fans in all the times that she's been on a red carpet, but she seemed to me also a little more friendly with these fans or these people that she was taking photos with. It seemed like she was trying really hard, and that could, you know, be just for appearances or just like, oh crap, I need to be nicer. I don't know. Frozen pizza. Wife had me walk over to Kroger to pick up some frozen pizza. Do they have good frozen pizza? Wow, that is hard for my accent to say. Um, yeah, I got ramen today, and I think Friday or Saturday, I was like, I'm not. I don't feel like cook. But have you been there, guys, and Ryan too? Uh, I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like leaving the couch to even like put together a not very cooked cooking meal. But I also, because I am so lazy or so tired or whatever to leave the couch, I can not also go and get and buy even like fast food or something. That was like my where I was on Saturday. I'm like, oh my gosh, so what do? I'm hungry. And I'm not ordering DoorDash or whatever. It is it's like almost twice as much you're paying. Especially if I'm getting like McDonald's for like, excuse me, $8, and then the DoorDash fee and all that stuff and the tips. Because I was a DoorDasher for a little bit, I might be more. Um, Tip, please, because otherwise we get like $3. And if you're wondering why no one's like accepting your order, or like you see someone accepting and then it's like, oh, they changed their mind or whatever, it's because maybe you didn't tip. Because otherwise we get like $3 or something, or maybe not. I think $3 is like the minimum, I think. And the maximum is like maybe $5 or something per trip. So I'm like, by the time you factor all that in, I'm like, that's like literally twice as much you're paying. So yeah, but frozen pizza sounds good. Don't, because she had no sympathy for Justin. She should have done this privately. She brought this on herself. I know. I want to hold on to the good part of me. For months, people were hating Justin Baldoni. Nobody felt sorry for him. I made a hot pot today. Ooh, I've never had hot pot. I'm kind of scared of it. Is it kind of like ramen, as far as like you have all of these kind of things together, but it's spicy? Or did you make it spicy? I can't do spice at all. Um, but yeah, maybe one day I'll try it. I think if you go, you kind of make it however you want, right? But wow, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I think, I don't know. Based on what I know about hot pot, it's cool. Anyways, I do feel sorry for her, like as far as if she has narcissistic traits or she leans that way, this hurts physically, is all I'm saying. So I'm not saying that she doesn't need, consequences, or that I'm on her side or anything like that. This is what I was saying to my one friend that I lost, because she didn't understand like how I could be both. At that time, I was like open to like, you know, Blake's side of things. And I also had made up my mind that Justin didn't do that, or like something was off and I was on his side more. And again, this was like when things just started. And yeah, I'm going I'm going to like just stay true to like my feelings here. I'm sorry. I know, unpopular opinion. But I'm like, I feel like you can always like hold space for both things, that you can feel sorry for someone, and also that does not mean that that they, don't deserve consequences, or that, you forgive them or anything like that, or you let them back in. Like, I think those are separate things. But yeah, I understand also why people are not so keen on doing anything else. What is this? Oh, this was me searching for that. Okay, whatever. Timothée. Oh yeah, this thing. Did you guys see this? Oh shoot, I shouldn't have. Oh, but they're there. And then it said it seems weird, so it was misconstrued, but it's still weird. Yeah, the best flavor is the broth from everything you put in the seasonings. Yeah. Um. Yes. What's the difference between like a soup and a hot pot? Because it sounds to me like the same thing, except hot pot sounds like it should be different, but I'm missing in my mind, since I never had it. I'm missing the difference. Or is it the same thing? It's just more that you're like sharing it, and it's like cooking as you're there. Is that the difference? I just went on a journey through the old videos and finally found the movie premiere vlog. Oh wow. Yeah. No, it was more than 7 years ago. Wasn't it 2016? Oh, it's the fondest memory. Not only that, the premiere. Do you mind if I tell the story, like the details of the story? I don't think. Do I have anything? I probably have something. Yeah. Um. But yeah, that was like pretty cool. Um. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, I guess we didn't. It was like 2016. We did it. We were there. You put everything in once for soup, hot pot. You add as you eat. Okay. Okay. Like fondue, but for meat and vegetables and things, and it's water instead of cheese. I think at the fondue place they started doing something like that here, but I don't think it's like quite the same, because they don't even do fondue well. It's like a chain. Forget the name of it. Um, but yeah, that's where the photographers stand on the red carpet. Yeah, right. Yeah, where Lori was. Yeah. Anyways, so moving on to this. I see kissing. I want to see bite lipping. Lip biting. Oh, bite lipping. That's like the food salad that I was saying. I can't. Okay, it'll come back around. Yeah. I don't see bite lipping, but I want to see it. I think there was maybe a different video or angle or something. I remember there was something that was just, yeah, it just disappeared. No one really talked about it on one side or the other. But she's digging, and her F FAFO associates, they're digging through everything, and everything's like coming back out. Um, to me, it looked like just like just fluids. I didn't see, I didn't see like the bite lipping, but anyways, it wouldn't be the first though. that's why I even like share this, because it wouldn't be the first where she like literally said that he did what she actually did, right? With the video, the dancing video. I forget what she said that. I forget, but it was something that she's like, oh, he did this or said this, and she was the one that did that. Besides, even just as a whole, the whole time that she was not talking in character from the beginning, maybe that was it. And she was saying that he wasn't talking in character, except he was. It was uncomfortable because he was in character and trying to seduce this, they're dating, the dating like montage or whatever. So yeah, anyways, hi Angel, it's been a while, welcome. This is some crazy footage. She is saging him more than he is a sage. Well, I mean, he should file a complaint. I wonder if he's thinking like, man, like all those times that she did this and she did that, like I could have done this, I could have sued her. That would have been terrible though. He could, that's the double standard too. It's like he could have not sued. A man suing a woman for SH, that's a different world. We're not living in that world. But yeah, but we don't know like if this was coordinated, etc. She does not look uncomfortable. We can know that part. She's not uncomfortable there at all. But she was expecting it. Like I just feel like that's a lot of her complaints, her like list of things were things that there were some that were disturbing sounding, but those were like 3, maybe 5 altogether, and the rest of the 17 or 32 were I don't want to say misunderstandings, but like it wasn't misunderstandings, but like things that didn't, like I can't even imagine how those could be, like him crying in her that was too much for me. Him crying in her trailer or whatever. I'm like, how, someone explain to me how anyone feels that is harassment, that someone is crying to you or around you about whatever they're going through, whatever it was. Like I think she was maybe trying to say that was manipulative, but she couldn't even say that. Like she couldn't even say that, because she would have said that if she wanted to say that. So that was just so weird to say. Anyways, but yeah, I forget what I was saying. But yeah, it has to be so confusing for him if she did all this and then complained it's so nuts. Yeah. All right. Yeah, filming day 1 was May 18th, 2016. It felt like it was earlier because I was freezing. I remember that through the whole shoot. So we were on, like I said, can I say the details? Like the video and like the project and stuff? I mean, you can't see us in the video in the movie anyways, but and that's not the point, and we're both YouTubers, but I'm just saying, I don't know, consent, I don't want to I don't want to be sued for SH because I said the name of the movie that we met on as extras. Like it seems like more than 7 years ago, but I guess yeah. Anyways, I'm a blur in the trailer. Oh, yeah, lucky. I was not even that. Anyways, moving on from this, yeah, that was interesting to see. And I want to get just a little break as I talk about this little quick story, but this is the cutest dog. This is such a cute dog. This is Isabella Ferrer's, and as you notice, you can't comment, but I did like this. I don't know her stance. She didn't come one way or another at us, but she definitely took precautions. But look at this dog. Look at this cute little thing. Just the cutest little thing. Oh, puppy. So cute. So innocent. That's one innocent party in all of this for sure. Like, it doesn't even know what movies are. Like, so cute. So cute. A moment of puppy. A moment of cute. But yeah, we met on one of the Fast and the Furious movies that filmed here. And yeah, well, that was kind of the story. I mean, there's like definitely so much fondness because we were extras, but there's like a core of us that were every day for 4 weeks, I think. And so I learned a lot about actual productions from just that. And I was talking to someone about like, okay, I want to go towards directing, and should I do PA and then work my own? Where? What should I do? Should I do the different departments? Like, what should I do? And I think it's also different because of the age and where I am and where I'm starting off. And years ago, I was told like, yes, that's what you should do, work your way up and whatever. But or this guy was just a lot more honest and saying like, it has zero, like, don't waste your time. Basically, like, especially at this point, you are none of the crew places will get you to directing. You learn about, sorry, I have like a little fly. You learn about all the different roles and things, and you're on a production and so forth. But he's older than I am, but I feel as old as he found this person that was giving me um, advice, because I'm like, yeah, at that time on the Fast and the Furious movie, I had no problem waking up at like 5 a.m. and or like even before 5 a.m. I never ever wake up that early, ever. But for that, I had all the energy, and I was going to bed like at 8, and I loved it. I was like, I can do this all the time. Meanwhile, get me to the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good luck. I'm always going to be late, and I am drained like an hour into being there. Same, yeah. This is when when it's a fit and it's not a fit. But that was like an awesome. Have any of you other guys and girls, sorry if that's offensive saying guys as a general, but have you y'all been on like a movie project, either extras or crew or main, or I know, yeah, Angel, I know you're kind of working on something, and no one is allowed to talk to anyone alone. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Um, yeah, it's that production high. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Um, I think I remember being like, I don't want to be a PA because they were there before us. They are there after everyone, everyone. And that's like 18 hours, 16, 18 hours a day sometimes. Screenwriter, yay. Maybe I'll call on you for a screenplay. Because that's like basically what this guy said. Like, you just need to like write your own movie, or like if you're lucky to find a screenplay that you resonate and is good and whatever. But yeah, you just need to do it and submit it, and it takes a lot of money. I'm like, great, I don't have money, but thanks. But at least I know, that. Goals, though, I would love to shadow a director. And that's what I was saying to him, too. Even just on crew that's unrelated, for that imposter syndrome, which I think I want to talk about imposter syndrome somewhere around here, too. But yeah, anyways, if you haven't been on a thing, on a production set, it's not for everyone, but to me and to you, Ryan, some people, it's like the coolest thing, the most energizing thing. Um, And again, to me, that was I should have known really much better than I ended up knowing for all these years how much community meant to me, because that and the acting school in 2017 when I went, the sense of community, the way that like I felt a part of this group that lasted for at least like over a year, a little bit, on the Fast and the Furious, and we were just extras, but we saw each other all every day, and we're like waiting around, and whatever. And I was also like the most outgoing that I ever was too, and that also I noticed anytime that I did a movie project, I was a different person. I was more. I wasn't as shy, reserved, or whatever. I was more outgoing. I was more friendly. I was more like open, not as shy, not as like painfully like antisocial because I'm like so scared to talk to people. I still was, but I don't know. I remember being on the first day and I'm like, I want to talk to everyone here if I can. And no pressure, Arena, but try. And I think I talked to pretty much everyone. And yeah, I don't know. I love that. And I love that about film in general, that when you're like on a production set, on the set, it is like people say, it's like a family. Sometimes it's a bad family, like in this case. This, it ends with us, is like a very, very, very bad, dysfunctional, toxic family. That's what it sounds like. um, yeah, Fast and the Furious 8, which I don't know, Fate and the Furious. I hate saying that name. Fast and the Furious 8 or Fast 8, Fast 8, which is what I think they like said it on the call sheets. That's what the movie should have been called. That is such a better title, in my opinion. Fate and the Furious is like cheesy and what is that? Like they've done so many. What's Fate about this one, the eighth one? In the middle, because I think they've done since. Yeah, and also I don't know if you felt this way, Ryan, but with the effects, I don't know if you were there for when they showed us all the clips, like a compilation of all that they shot here in Cleveland and how cool it looked. And then I remember seeing it in the theater. I'm like, what is this crap? What is this CGI? And I think I said this to you, like, because we were sitting next to each other. I'm like, what is this? This looks worse. How is this worse? Because it was also, I think, cheap CGI. But yeah, but that had stories about producers getting involved. I remember, and I mentioned this quite a few lives ago, but that had whispers of producers getting involved in the storyline and changing things or having to approve things versus the director. So that's when I thought, like, oh, so these producers, it was Vin Diesel that was the whisper about as a producer. Like, oh, so these producers, like, I wonder if Vin Diesel and Blake Lively make a movie, what kind of war would that start? He might have grown out of that, I don't know. But I stand by the director, like that, director that won the Golden Globes. Director should have the final cut. Because why do you have a director what is their purpose otherwise? To me, that's how it feels like. But I do also agree with collaboration. Anyways, I don't want to change this picture. This is so cute. This is so cute. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, I really enjoyed being locations PA when with college and getting gigs one after another in the area was rough. Yeah. A friend of mine was a music video casting director. I sat in once but couldn't keep a straight face. I think I should have been a music video director, not casting director. Oh gosh. Was it people dancing, P? Like, what is a casting like for music videos? Are people just dancing or yeah, interesting. Cuz that is a job that I don't think about. But yeah, I think cuz I love music and I love putting things together to rhythm, and that's how I edit my movies that I edit is I always like feel a rhythm. But I also notice that sometimes the rhythm that I feel in the micro moments, when I pull back and I watch it, I'm like, wait, this is not the rhythm that I was feeling when I was doing this. So there's like tweaks. And I do this with YouTube videos as well. Like, I hate going because YouTube videos is different because it's just me talking, and you can only do that so much. For me, at least, I don't like hearing myself talk that much and over again. Like it's just weird. So yeah, but for movies, there's definitely like step back, see how it all plays, and then but it's all to me. It's always like a rhythm, um, like intuition sort of thing. But then knowing to have the tool sets to have better intuition and grow your intuition is also something that I didn't develop. Yeah, imposter syndrome is so real. And the main producer for one movie I worked on fully ruined the movie, though he was the son of who the film was about. That's kind of like when they don't let lawyers represent family, or no, that's not a thing. Doctors operate on their family members, conflict of interest, because when you're too close, it probably that's what it was. Like they were or he was probably too close to the subject matter, so he couldn't see how it would translate to the audience. But yeah, I have I have my thought. I don't. I need to understand more why we need producers involved in the storyline, the storytelling of it, not like, yeah, secure the funds, blah 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 blah. But like, why are you butting into the storyline? That's where I'm like, so why have a director and a producer in that case? Um, yeah, I'm going to go away from this lovely picture. So cute. So cute. And we're going to talk about Anna. I'm like on this like weird pronunciation round. Um Actually, before talking about Anna, well, kind of still talking about her, something was said in that whole panel video when they were talking about the movie that perked my ears, popped my ears, is what I wanted to say. Um, Anna's character, I know it's Emily. Don't know Anna's character. And I know Emily just because I heard it recently. That's Blake's character. Anna's character is the story kind of says, or at least that the way that they said it is that her character is obsessed with Blake Lively's character. So, like in the first one, did any of you see it? The first Simple Favor, it like she, um, Anna's character comes to the school to pick up her son, runs into Emily picking up her son. Somehow Emily, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're beautiful" or something. And then Emily, Blake's character, she invites her over or something, or she invites herself. I don't even know. And it's all like she's very mysterious, Blake's character, and in a sinister way, at least in the trailer, more so in the movie, as if I remember correctly, and I don't remember too much. Anyways, but that's kind of the idea. And then um, Blake's character disappears, supposedly dies, or I don't know. And so Anna's character is like, she tries really hard to find her, I think, and then suddenly she doesn't. She kind of takes over her life and her husband, and she has an affair with her husband. And then Blake's character, I think, shows up. I don't even remember this. I don't even think this is a spoiler because I really don't even remember how it ends or whatever. But we know from the second one that I guess she went to jail. I don't remember her being arrested, but this is how much this movie meant, to me. But the trailer, like mini trailers, like was it Men in Black 2 or something? Mini trailers are so much better than the movie. It Ends With Us. I think it was a pretty awesome trailer. Set the bar too high for what the movie was. And like as far as like it just pulled you emotionally into a storyline, and it's easier to say a story with music and voiceover and clip together clips like a trailer, and it's hard to sustain that same storytelling throughout a whole feature film, I think. But anyways, I digress. And she shows up. I don't know what happens in this new one, but I guess she gets married. Blake Lively's character has a wedding. I don't know if she even gets married or something. I don't know, with this Michelle guy. But the thing that perked my ears, and maybe it already perked your guys's too, Anna's character is obsessed with Blake's character, is how it's presented. And Blake consistently has said that this is her favorite one or her just top favorite role that she's ever played. And her mom, Blake Lively's mom, didn't like her playing this character. I think because it makes her seem not this like bubbly, girl that you love sort of character, because she's, I don't know, something's wrong with Emily in the movie. And because like I don't even understand why she disappears. I don't know. I really, it wasn't clear at all. Maybe because now with what we know of It Ends With Us, and how Paul Feig was saying that, they're all great collaborators. Blake's a great collaborator, and they collaborate and blah blah. Maybe this is why the movie doesn't make too much sense, because Blake got too involved. Maybe there's the pattern. Because I'm not saying this retrospectively. I just, like I said, I don't even I never understood the deal of Emily. Like I don't even understand how to talk about her, Blake's character. Like, is she a psychopath? Like, I think that's what they were trying to say, but I don't think she was. Like, it wasn't showing that way. But the reason I correlate these two now in my mind is because that's how I felt with all the DV scenes in It Ends With Us, where if you watch it like the fourth time, third time, however many times I watched it, you kind of understand what they were going for. But at first, I'm like, I didn't even catch on to those things, but not in a way that they wanted us to not catch on to them. I didn't even see what was supposedly happening, and I didn't even see the accidents as the accidents. So, that's, I don't know, it just feels very similar in that sense. But yeah, so the reason that I forget, like it's in, I think in Jersey Flaw's video interview of them two on A Simple Favor 1. I think that's where she says that her mom doesn't like that she loves to play this character, or that she took this character on or something, and she gets into a little bit, I forget. But I could pull it up, but we saw the disaster when I tried to search for things earlier. I need to get hopping off. Yeah, thank you for coming. Have a great night. Yeah, I'm right now kind of starting a new life, and yeah, I'm good. She played a twin in the first one, oldest trick in the book of movie premieres. Oh, did she? Oh, premises. Oh, yeah, that's right. Or did she pretend she was a twin? Didn't she pretend she was a twin? It was like a psychological thriller that was supposed to confuse you, but it confused you so much that I can't even tell you. It's supposed to confuse you, but then you're supposed to understand and walk away with something. And I have no idea. I think I don't know. But anyways. Yeah, it was okay. The first one. I just kind of, like I said, what perked my ears was this Anna's character being obsessed with Blake's character, and Blake saying that this character that she played is her favorite and she loves this movie. And it's a movie, I don't know about the first one, but this one's coming out straight to streaming. And so it's like, it's just all kind of interesting. Yeah. The thing that was annoying was when Blake was saying that Paul, he wanted to shoot in Capri. I wrote capris like the pants. And I said, that sounds amazing, but it's so expensive and blah, 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 whatever she was saying, her little word salad. It wasn't really, it was word salad, but it made sense, but it was like, this is not the question. Can she have someone, instead of hiring the CIA guy to like scrub the internet, or I even noticed on on TikTok and even on YouTube videos like that usually get, I don't know, 5 people in the first hour or something, or maybe 10, are struggling. And I don't know, maybe it's a coincidence, but I'm like, I didn't get as far as I know, I didn't get the silences in the middle of my lives or in the middle of my videos. I'm like nobody. So I don't know. But instead of doing that, maybe she could hire someone, like a real PR, that can tell her how to respond to things and what she should say in these things, because she once again just kind of undermined her own self, because she started talking about how the director wanted to do another movie, or maybe they all wanted to do another, it doesn't matter who wanted to do another movie, they all agreed, whatever, or at least the two of them. And she said that he wanted the director, the filmmaker, and she's not a producer on this movie, she's not anything but the she has a stunt person too on this, but she's only an actress on this movie. Maybe this is why, like, even though he keeps talking about how much of a collaborator Blake is, but did he draw the line? Yes, he did. She's not even an executive producer in this movie. She's like nothing except an actress. So, maybe that's like the person that she was interestingly talking about to Justin, that late night text or whatever, that directors rewrite her notes or whatever, blah 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 blah. Anyways, where did that go? Okay. So she's Emily Nelson, and then Anna is Stephanie Smothers. No. That is too cheesy. And then Imogen Lever was her stunt double. They both had stunt doubles. That's it. That's as much of the credit that Blake has. No executive producer. She's cool. No executive producer credit, no producer credit, whatever. But then here she is at this premiere talking about how she had apparently something to say to Paul about, no, let's shoot it in New Hampshire, wherever they shot the first one. And Paul insisted. And she's like, I get that she can say these stories in a way where it's just like you almost miss it, and it's almost endearing and funny, but what she's actually saying is kind of like, what? Huh? even if I would be like with my friends, director, I'm their actor, whatever, and I'm like super comfortable with them, and I would say like, oh, why don't we shoot it, with this? But if I'm only the actor and it's a more professional movie, I wouldn't say that, right? I don't know. At least like not the way that you made it sound. And so, yeah. And then there were like moments about her adjusting her boob, people saying that was like her dress, saying that was on purpose. It kind of looked on purpose because I don't see how that dress was going anywhere. It looked glued on her, and it was latex. It just seemed like that wasn't moving. And then when she did that, like I didn't see, but maybe I'm looking for the bad, right now. My radar is like looking for the bad. I just didn't see how that dress would move. So it did seem at this time that was orchestrated by her. Not to like sue her co-star, this other co-star, more so to say, see, I'm okay with him looking, because he didn't assuage me. He wasn't creeping me out. Which he looks creepy. He does not look as nice as Justin as a person, just like by looks only. I don't know. I only saw him the first time on this red carpet. I don't know how he is as a person, not saying that. But by looks, like he looks like people were saying about Justin, that he looks like a creep. But that's my theory, is that's why she did that, was to show like, oh, I'm generally okay with people like, whatever, but it's the person that matters. I wonder if that's what was in her head, or if she really had a wardrobe malfunction. Excuse me, you know what I mean. And then working with Anna, like, oh, it's the best. That was extra fake. That is like cheerleader American kind of fake. But yeah, so another simple flavor. Always so hard to not say flavor. Done. Oh gosh. Let me. Oh God, I don't even know. Let me go to Anna. No, let me talk about Brendon for a second. Because that one's like shorter, and this man. What the heck is he doing? What the heck is this? I think all of you have seen Brendon Sklenar, red carpet, being asked about the flower, him saying, I don't even know how to spell his name. Him saying, oh no, I didn't know. I don't know this was the same flower. Let me share it again on the screen. Let's see if this one's good.
Yeah, honestly, no. No. I wish I could say there was.
Sorry, that gets to me every time. Like, that is like panic, if I've ever seen panic. Hi, Maria. And we were just talking, or I was just talking about how, like, yeah, like some jobs, like you can't pay me enough to show up on time, or like it's instant. Okay, can I go now? That's maybe not how you feel about your job, but yeah, there were those jobs that drain sometimes, or those days that drain, because I don't know where you are, but there was the daylight savings time this weekend, which I didn't know, and I'm so confused. I was going to look it up or ask you guys, like, so right now it's 10:57 on my technology. I need one of those clocks, those like old school ones, because is it supposed to be 11 or is it supposed to be 9? I don't know. But that might also be why, people, all of us are a little bit more sensitive or whatever now. But anyway, so that is panic. That is, oh crap. And if he already read this article, was he really not thinking that he was going to be asked about this? Because he looks like deer in the headlights, catching time, slowing down time, like, oh no, what should I say? What should I say? Oh no, 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 I. Like, oh my gosh.
That was a total happenstance. I woke up in the morning and saw an article, and I was like, oh damn, I literally had no idea. Yeah, I had an idea I wanted to wear like a floral brooch of some kind, and that was the color I liked the best. And
why did you want to wear a floral brooch to begin with? This doesn't make sense at all to me, but give him the benefit of a doubt. I don't think any of us want to give him the benefit of the doubt, especially at this point.
Lo and behold, someone also wore that prior to me wearing it. So
now that part, I was wrong in my TikTok video when I remembered it. I remembered it wrong, and this is human. We have errors in our memories and interpretations. I remembered it as like someone, like a little bit of a different intonation to that was a lot more like against Justin. Now looking at it now, I can't tell what he's trying to say. I don't know. But to call someone not even the director, because that's already kind of making him an other, or like distancing language, but not to make him a director, but someone is, besides swearing or whatever, it's kind of the lowest thing you can call someone. That's confusing how I'm saying that, but like a person. That's one of the lowest things you can call a person, especially if there is any kind of knowledge of each other. Because it's not just making them other and using distancing language, but it's also making them irrelevant, unimportant, almost like, yeah, like not non-human, but like not important. So if he is on Justin's side or whatever, this was terrible. This was terrible no matter what side he's on, even if no side. Like, what?
yeah.
I think he's on her side, just in the background. He wore a floral brooch for her. And also, does anyone understand that whole brooch thing? Because I don't understand that. It just, to me, when he changed that, I'm like, oh, he is mocking. Because I've never heard brooch before. Like, what the heck is that? And it was in quotation, so it was like, it was mocking in a way or whatever. It was like a, not a real word kind of awareness, but yeah, backstepping, was not sure what to say. I think one of, oh yeah, Blake's and Ryan's team contacted him with, what the heck are you doing? Yeah. And that reporter that asked him that, when they, oh gosh, the control they might have, honestly, at this point, because they didn't, that one BBC reporter said that they were asked once on the carpet, like, do not ask about Justin, do not ask about DV or anything serious, or whatever. And I wonder if even this question was planted. And when I say I wonder, I hypothesize, I theorize, I am leaning more than 60% that it was planted. So he could say his response, he didn't know it was coming, but he probably was definitely contacted, like, excuse me? What did you do? What did you say? So my theory is, or A. My first one was, well, it wasn't mine because when like I said, I watched this on Popcorn Planets, and well, the first reaction was like, what? This is weird. This is an odd way to talk or respond to such a question and to such a situation. Second one was, I think just all the comments were like, he doesn't have he's spineless. He doesn't have a backbone. So that wasn't mine, my first impression or whatever, because it wasn't mine. It might have been just the same. Second impression, I think my second impression, and I think I'm going to not keep them in order because I don't remember the exact order, but I think the second one was he actually trying to support Blake? Because when I saw that brooch at first on Elsie's, I think, wherever I saw it, they first showed Donna. They first showed Brandon wearing that, and they're like, hold on, let me show you, where have you seen this before? And I expected to see Blake Lively or something. One, because we had known that he supported her, and two, because it looked a little bit like her flowers that I didn't even know that they were there until my friend pointed them out on her SNL 50 dress. It was pink, but like it's far away. It was like shiny and metally and whatever. But it looked like that because it didn't look like a flower. And so I thought so I'm thinking now, like, did he think that he was supporting Blake by wearing this flower brooch that in his mind too was resembling her SNL 50? Because they also didn't walk the red carpet with Justin. So he maybe didn't even look at pictures of him. Like, screw that guy, or he could care less, or one or another. I mean, this is the guy that had a tag on his sweater on the one interview. And maybe that happens very often, but I'm just saying, like, he doesn't come across as someone who pays attention to details or who even cares about Hollywood or anything besides, like, what's serving him. And I'm not saying that, like, in a mean way. I'm saying that's what comes across. Like, he is, you can say, depending on whatever, like, you can say that's a good thing and that's a bad thing. That he's just, like, concerned about what's in front of him and about him. And like the projects he's involved with or whatever, and not the Hollywood whatever theory, complete theory. So that was one of my other theories, is that he thought that he was supporting her instead. Didn't know that was actually his brooch, Justin's. The other theory, or even because of that, it was like an extra stab. The other theory that cracked me up, because I was on the TikTok video and it came to me in that moment. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny if this is the case. What if his stylist is Team Justin? Again, I don't think he dressed himself. Call me crazy. What if his stylist is Team Justin, and is a fan and a supporter of Justin, and Brendon didn't know, but his stylist knew? He just, I mean, obviously, if that's the case, probably that stylist won't have a job, but maybe he's that team, or she, whoever it is, that Team Justin, that they're like, oh, this is worth it. The other theory was, is it just so he stays relevant? Because he's not, he's talked about more than other co-stars, even more than Jenny Slate in a way. But he's not included in a lawsuit, so maybe he's like feeling left out. I was joking earlier. But in a more serious note version of that, like, what if he is seeking attention to stay relevant to this conversation? Because this is a big conversation, and we know his name, honestly, because of this. Justin was a lot more well-known than this guy. No one really knew him. People say that about Justin, but Jane the Virgin had a decent following, and the TED Talk, people knew at least whispers about Justin's existence in Hollywood. I don't think anyone really knew about Brendon. And again, anyone, there were people, but like not even compared. So is he using this controversy to stay relevant? And I think I had another one, but I don't remember. Maybe that was it. And I was saying, like, if Brendon is neither team, because he's like, oh crap, I don't even know what this is about. I can't even make sense of this. I don't know. He's clearly not staying away from it. Because it's one thing to wear the brooch and another thing to wear it and also make that as the highlight of your caption to that photo. Long live the brooch. It's giving me more the impression that he thought he was supporting Blake and he picked the wrong brooch. And that's why he changed it to brooch or whatever. It means raise a sensitive or difficult subject for discussion. Wait, what does that look for him? I think he's on her side, just in the background. He wore a floral brooch for her. Yeah. That's what it seems like, especially to this. And then calling Justin someone, I think that's kind of the nail in the coffin of that one, that he's still supporting her. I still called for grace for these collateral people because, they might equally be manipulated into having the stance that they take. And wouldn't it be unfortunate for someone to, because this is a good segue into Anna, why do I keep saying her name that way? I'm sorry, Anna. Into Anna's history and story. And she even says, because this is the first clip I think that I'm going to play, she even says that if someone wants to manipulate you, they will. There is nothing you can do about it, in a way. Like, to push them away, to, work on yourself, to do this, to do that. Like, if someone really wants to hurt you or manipulate you, they very likely will. And so that's why I'm like, part of me is still wanting to give grace to these people outside of the direct, Blake to Justin, Ryan to Justin, all that kind of triangle, I guess. I don't know. But who knows? Okay, I think this is the clip that I'm talking about. So this was 4 months ago. It was Crime Junkie. This is a good interview, and it doesn't talk only about the true crime. So Woman of the Hour is based on a true crime story on this podcast, or that she was listening to, I guess. I didn't know that. So this is very similar, and I want to watch this movie, but I don't want to watch the subject matter. But I want to watch it to see, because it seems like she approached it a lot more seriously, to stay true to the story, and also for the voices of victims and so forth of such things. So let's see.
I'm sure that the listeners are very...
This is a question about... Wait, what is it? I guess it does start there.
I'm sure that the listeners are very, very into, as they should be, like the details and accuracy, factual accuracy. And there are so many details in the movie that are lifted straight from the true story. But, just the way you're talking even about that scene with the apartment, it just reminds me that part of the objective was also to give each woman that we meet like quite a different personality and quite a different kind of entry point to how they meet this man, how they interact with this man. Because again, like emotionally, it felt important to kind of establish it wouldn't matter what your personality is and how you meet a person or how careful you are or how sweet you are or how tough you try to seem. Like, none of that guarantees your protection from someone if they're determined to harm you.
Yeah.
And even though I think there are really, really interesting things in the movie around like the ways that some of these women managed to survive.
Anyways, the clip that I chose this, I guess one for that. I didn't really know how much it would apply to the conversation, but also because the caption is giving the victims a personality and voice, and her talking about staying true for the listeners of this story, true crime story, and also to the message of what she wanted this movie to uphold or to, stay true to. And I feel like that's very, very, very different. The way that she got onto this, and I don't know if the other, it was minute 10:30. Yeah. I think she talks about like how she got into this whole directing situation where she didn't even seek it initially. So a little different.
From your perspective and being able to like hone in on. So how did you decide that you wanted to direct something? Because
I had told myself, I mean, certainly I told everyone around me, and I had told myself I just wasn't interested in directing because I think that it's vulnerable to want something and, you might not get it, or you might get it and you might fail. And so
I mean, I could just end it there. And that's like humbleness 101, awareness 101, being in the real world 101. You might fail at something. I didn't see that. And maybe that's, in her personal life, Blake feels that way. But anything that she's showing on the outside is light years from that. Awareness, that, and humbleness, and I don't know, humbleness, the sentiment that, oh crap, I might not do a good job at this. Such a refreshing sentiment.
I just was constantly telling myself, like, oh, I don't know. God, directors are crazy. I'm not doing that. And I really found myself getting kind of obsessed with this script and maybe getting a little controlling, because I was attached as an actor for about 2 years, and I was just
Self-awareness. The way she even says that is like she knows that's not a good thing. But when you're a director, yeah, you have that vision, and ideally, this is, why I kind of gravitate towards directing, is because I do have often, at least, like clear like visuals in my mind and my brain of angles, of whatever's, of even sometimes of like the color grading, not as often. Sometimes, yeah. Anyways, but like, so, but I can see the finished product of what I imagine based on what I'm reading or what I'm writing. There is control to that. Like, you are in control. She doesn't feel comfortable in that space. And she directed this movie, and I think she ended up being comfortable. She talks, I don't know if it's in this, I think in the other one, like she asked everyone questions, and she was very open to learn from everyone because she knew this was her first time, and that was kind of established from the beginning, that she wanted to learn and to be told if someone was seeing that she wasn't doing something, she was missing something, a shot that she should have taken but she didn't, or whatever. But it's that kind of sentiment of like being scared of having all that control versus like seeing that as a given to you. And again, maybe it's reading too much into it. I admit that could be it. the way that she's saying this, though, feels very like a normal, everyday person that has even insecurities around even basic, you know, authority, like self authority or whatever. The imposter syndrome, someone who has imposter syndrome versus someone, or more likely to develop that or to have that versus someone who walks into a room and feels like, oh, I own this place, this is all mine, I'm the best thing at this party. Not to quote Taylor Swift, because I think that also came, even that song, I feel it came from pain of not being that, of like being told the opposite. So that's debatable with her. I don't know. That brooch wasn't by mistake, in my opinion. We'll listen to the rest on the replay. Good night. Good night, P. Yeah. And yeah, anyways, basically she had been with this project for 2 years, and then the more she sat with it, the more she wanted to direct it. And I think in this video, she talks about
thing about
no. Is it? No. I think somewhere one of these videos she talks about like directing was like jumping into the deep end, that she was scared to jump in, but the more she sat with the story, the more she saw it, the more she wanted to tell it and to be the one that was telling it. She had signed up as an actor and she was attached to it as an actor only, and I guess no one was claiming it, or some, I don't remember exactly if she even said the details of that, but basically like she ended up fighting to be the director one way or another, and she was terrified of that, but she did it because it meant so much to her. It also meant a lot because a lot of these interviews she talks about her own personal story. Let me go to that first.
I think that's the thing that's actually lingered much longer than the behavior of the other person, is the shame that I feel around, like, how did I become that person? Like,
what did he do to you, Anna?
We're just talking about like a really kind of classic emotional psychological breakdown. It was I know that gaslighting has become this kind of term yes. That is very, very popular, but it was a really sustained period, and I really didn't know what to believe anymore. I really started to wonder if I had a mental health issue, and I kind of dismantled my life. And for a year, I started just going to therapy and going to Al-Anon, and I have this like graveyard of self-help books in my house that I look at now and just go like, oh man, I was like looking for answers in the wrong places. I was just trying so hard to stop being crazy. I think that's the thing that's actually lingered.
And I guess maybe this clip is a little bit easier for me to understand what she's saying, because I know on Call Her Daddy, I don't have that for some reason. I don't have that link, but on the Call Her Daddy podcast, she talks a lot about the situation she's in. Not necessarily in more details necessarily, but just to me, watching this now, I feel like that's easier understood as to why, like, to me, I wonder if there's a correlation based on how we see Blake treats projects and the patterns that she showed, at least again on the outside. We don't really know her insecurities on the inside, how she deals with them, if she does go to therapy, if she doesn't. There's a speculation that she doesn't. And sometimes like just going to therapy isn't the end all be all, because you have to work on that work. It's not just like going there will just heal you or whatever. Like you have to do the work. But again, coming from this place, I don't forget how many years Anna was in this relationship. It was 10 years or something like that, 7 years. It was a long time. And she talks about real gaslighting, because she even says it was sustained. Like this is a trendy word right now, but she didn't say, but I had the real kind. But basically, that's kind of what it sounds like from what she's saying, that it's gaslighting, truly gaslighting is a sustained period of time to make you question reality. It's not when you get into an argument and either because they're aware and they're wanting to like save their face or be right or whatever, or because they're not even aware, they will, the other person, your partner or friend or family, will say something that didn't happen as if it happened or whatever. But again, like if it's just one time, a lot of us that have egos, a lot of us want to win. There's a difference between a pattern and a conscious or very sustained approach to trying to make someone question reality as a whole, and just, because you have a fight and you want to win, or because people have different interpretations, just like I did with Brendon. I remembered in my mind him saying someone, but he didn't phrase it that way. He just said someone. And so, like, we, especially when we're triggered, when we're in fights, like, our memory and our perception is very different. If we would, often people say, like, if you would, like, tape people fighting and you have them look back, they're like, that's not how it felt in the moment. I thought that I was really coherent and I see that I wasn't, or that I was pretty calm and I see that I wasn't, or whatever. So, but she's talking about real gaslighting, it seems like. And I'm not saying this is what Blake does. So my correlation to these two things, it's not that Blake is doing the same thing that her ex did or is the same type of person. I'm saying that when you have this experience and this trauma, even something that is less nefarious can affect you a lot and is not necessarily good for your mental health. And if you've worked on it, like she says that she worked so hard on it, on like overcoming this and stuff, you also have different boundaries. You have maybe like a lot more healthier boundaries. You understand a lot more how to move into the world in a healthier way. And if you come across someone who hasn't done work on themselves and is, again, having these traits that are of me, control, and taking over, having authorship, as Blake keeps saying, and not being easy to work with as far as that. Like, she needs to like be involved and to create every piece of a production, it seems like, based on her, even what she said. It could be definitely a clash between the two of them, if not even potentially detrimental to someone who's recovering from something like this. And this like was, I think, a while ago. I don't even know if it was before the first A Simple Favor, when they first started working. So that's like what I'm saying is like the correlation to me, like it makes a little bit more sense in my mind. It's more nuanced than, oh, Blake's like her ex and she was trying to gaslight Anna or whatever. Like, no. And even in the Call Her Daddy podcast, she talks a little bit, again, more nuance about the relationship with her ex partner, Anna's, and how like she saw this person was in pain, and I think she even still to some degree believes like they weren't necessarily aware of what they were doing or whatever, but it was still manipulation, or it was still hurtful, it was still bad for what they were doing. Yeah, just watch especially that one. I don't even know if it's on, I think it's on YouTube, the Call Her Daddy, of course, as always. I'll put the links below. And then this last clip of hers. Sorry, this is the podcast. I'll include that one because I don't remember, the timestamp of where, she talks about it, and it's a lot more in that one. This last one, leading with vulnerability. I think it's like a guide to directing almost. This was, I think, the first clip that I saw actually around this topic.
First movie was that every person from every department that I interacted with, I got to say to them, this is the first time I've done this once, and it's with you. So I'm hoping that I can ask you a million questions. I led with being vulnerable about what I felt like I didn't know and what I needed to know and learn. That really helped me avoid, I think, the worst thing you can do, which is pretending you know what's going on when you don't. You can plan and plan and plan, and there will be something that like you could not possibly have accounted for. There was one day where like everything went wrong. There were so many days where like everything goes wrong, but there really was a day where like everything went wrong, and we actually had to like scrap stuff and change the plan. We were shooting this laundromat.
Sorry, before I let her go into that one, again, self-awareness and willingness to learn, to grow, to do a good job, not just to do the job because you want to be in charge, because you have this vision. It seems when I think of like Blake Lively's want to be in charge of these movies, something about it feels to me like when I was, especially when I was younger, and maybe I can still be that way, but when you don't know too much, but you really like that world, or you have something in you, you have some vision, but it's so unpolished. But instead of doing what Anna is talking about, learning, understanding that it's unpolished or that it might be unpolished, and seeking to polish it, you're instead just, no, I'm already the best, or I'm already good at this, I already know better, kind of thing.
Sequence, my producers kept telling me like we should really cut when she runs out of the laundromat, and I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm gonna have her like break out into this grin right as she runs past camera, and that's gonna be like the moment that you fall in love with her. And it's one of my favorite sequences in the movie. And I remember turning to my cinematographer and basically saying, I'm aware that right now I probably have like a crazed look in my eye, but I feel so alive.
And so I wanted to pause it at the beginning and then have this be separate, because she also then goes into trusting yourself as the director, trusting to make those decisions, to have that control, to say, no, this is important to me. I do want this. And I say that more in terms of what, again, my imagination is if Blake was the director, where she probably would feel like everything has to be her way. Whereas with Anna, she was very like sure of why she wanted this scene. And she kind of like brushed over it in a way, just leading to talk about how doing that, it seemed like, it sounds like that's when it hit her, like, I really love this. Like, I am doing this. When you're like riding a bike or a scooter or something, and at first you're like, I don't know if I can do it. And then you're riding it. You're like, I'm riding it. That's kind of what I feel like she was describing there. And it's like really cool. But I love this. I loved finding these clips around a first time director that is also an actor. Because she could be very like, oh, I know what I'm doing because I've been on set for so long, so many years, et cetera, you know? I think she was also the person that, there was another interview, unfortunately, where she was talking, was it her or someone else? She was talking about things that someone said in casting about her that was like kind of SH. Was it her? I think it was her. Anyways. But yeah, I don't know. That's just like, it just, even listening to that brought some inspiration and joy and some, I don't know, calmness and just normalness. That's not a word. Normalcy. to this whole like being a director and directing for the first time and all this stuff. But like I said, like why has Blake not directed our movies? And there is a quote that's turned into like a standing visual quote, a meme of Blake saying, because it's a lot more, she finds it a lot more fun or a lot more inspiring or whatever to get someone else what someone else wrote and make it better. How could she even not realize that's that looks bad to say? I don't know. Oh boy. Anyways, also Lauren's comment on, I think it was on Instagram. I just screenshotted it and I forgot where it was. But I think it was on Elsie's Instagram about Brendon's response on the red carpet. And Lauren said, "This man is the human characterization of unbuttered toast." And I was like, that is amazing. That is a great comment. It's, I don't know, spot on or not, but it's, yeah, sounds like it. Talked about that. There's another lawyer. Watch Lauren's channel about this. There's another lawyer on the Jones work case. Added, it seemed when she was saying, when she had this Sunday or Saturday, Lauren, when she had this video, that it didn't seem like it was a replacement. It was just an addition and whatever. I think it was Lauren that was talking about this. The DV hotline people in the audience at South by Southwest. I feel like that's a PR move. I don't think that's a genuine move unless the movie has that in it. I don't know. There was some sort of DV-ish type stuff, I think, in the first one, but that's the thing. Like it was an artistic movie where that wasn't the subject and it wasn't like for a purpose. So I don't think they had any like call this hotline or whatever. I have no idea if again, maybe I should watch it again, the first one. But yeah, I think it's a PR placement, excuse me, of like, look, I care about this stuff. Like, I'm inviting people. Oh my gosh. What if it's like how Justin invited that girl on the red carpet to walk with him because she was part of the My Last Days series and it was kind of getting to her last days and it meant a lot to walk that red carpet and stuff. What if she did, but she didn't walk the red carpet with these people, but what if it was something like that? Like, look, I care. I even invited them to my new movie kind of thing. That would be terrible. I hope that's not it. I hope that's not it. Taylor Swift's in some weird, like, timeline debate on whatever. Yeah, I think my mom called it a while. Like, as soon as she heard about them, she's like, oh, yeah, family and friends, they know what's up. They know who to, I can't believe I said that phrase. They know their family member and friend better than they know themselves sometimes. And so it's like that's who should set someone up is your family and friends. And so because even back then the idea was that she was set up by family slash friends, mutual friends, because like I guess he's from Ohio. I guess he's from here, but or yeah, she's from Pennsylvania. They have some connection, something or another, whatever. I don't know. Whatever on that, I don't know too much. Sorry. Before I get into the Meghan part, maybe I can keep this for tomorrow. Yeah, let me keep that Meghan subject for tomorrow. I know I already started speaking about it. But I want to watch a couple more episodes. I only watched 2 episodes, Mindy's, and then I started the third one. and I have thoughts. And yeah, this is, I don't know. I don't have to be in the first cohort of talking about this, I guess. I want to end with this thought, which is in theme with what we've been sort of already talking about. So this was Timothee Chalamet winning, I think it was a SAG award for Best Actor as Bob Dylan, is it? In A Complete Unknown. And his speech, I guess, was controversial. And I mean, it gave me some like, oh, I had to hold my breath towards the end.
The classiest thing would be to downplay the effort that went into this role and how much this means to me. But the truth is, this was 5.5 years of my life. I poured everything I had into playing this incomparable artist, Mr. Bob Dylan. And I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there. So I'm deeply grateful to that. This doesn't signify that, but it's a little more fuel, it's a little more ammo to keep going. Thank you so much.
To me, that's what got to me. That, good night, Maria, if you're saying good night to us, that he said, this doesn't signify that. That's, I think, where he lost me. I'm like, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel right. That feels insulting. They gave you an award, and you're kind of saying, oh, but you're not all that. You're not like the big one, the best award. I don't think that maybe that's what he meant. Maybe he meant like to be the greatest isn't like just in an award. I don't know. Maybe it was like, oh, it's the Oscar instead of this. I don't know what it meant. But there is this idea, and Anna, we had a nice moment from her saying, believing in herself in that scene, like, no, I want this scene. And believing in herself really as becoming a director when she was like scared to and didn't know that she could do it and she could float. And this humbleness, this fake humbleness of like making ourselves smaller is kind of, the idea of that feeling and being told that if you don't do that, you are more like Blake Lively. You're more like full of yourself or even delusional in your abilities. And, excuse me, like he said, it's not classy. And the conversation we had in class today was maybe you should have thanked the director, I don't know, costume, wardrobe department, whatever, like many people do. Someone pointed out, well, it's a SAG award, so it's like actors for actors, so maybe for the Oscars, sure. But it made me think, like, I think it's absolutely necessary to include gratitude for everyone that made the movie and your role happen. But I also feel like this was a healthy change of appreciating the work he put in. He put in 5 years of work. He changed his voice. He changed his mannerisms, but he changed his voice. He worked so hard, not just singing voice, but like talking. Like he worked so hard. He started smoking, a little too method for me. Save your health. But he really poured everything, as he's saying. And if someone pours everything, I don't think the humble thing to do, correct me if I'm wrong or let me know your thoughts, I don't think the humble thing to do is necessarily to downplay that you put in all that effort. And I struggle with this. I kind of had my little breakdown on Friday, on my first live on Friday. I struggle a lot with taking up space and feeling like many of us, the imposter syndrome, feeling not good enough, feeling that we are terrible human beings if we take up space, if we like what we do, if we like what we create. You know, I also do music, kind of, and I constantly feel like I need to say and remind everyone, I know I don't have a good voice. And I might have a good voice, not overall, but like maybe when cuz I don't always hear. Sometimes I hear like, "Oh gosh, that's out of tune." Sometimes I don't, and I always think like, am I trying too hard to make my voice worse than it is to others, because I feel like I don't deserve to be listened to because I have this bad voice and that's, not in tune or whatever. At some points I'm like, I don't even know anymore. Um I think when you're self-aware and you're able to acknowledge the work that you put in, it's healthy to acknowledge and to be aware also of when you're good and when you're bad. And if you're constantly in that fake humbleness or that excessive humbleness of, or humility, sorry, that's the word technically, of humility, excessive humility, where you're just constantly putting yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough. And I don't know if it comes from religion, especially Christian religion, but that's definitely like where it's huge at. Like, you are small. God is great, God is big. Um Even kings are great, kings are big, all these, but you are small. And the sentiment is consistently like you are kind of insignificant. And I think that's kind of where it comes for a lot of people, the Christian side. I don't know the other religions that well. Um, I think it's also in non-religious society ideals too, of like be small in Romanian society is huge. At least like when I was growing up, is like make yourself small, and who are you to deserve something? Who are you to be a film director or a musician? Like, the idea also, you're born with talent or you're not, that plays into it. But the idea that I've observed in my family as a whole, my mom paints really beautifully, but she doesn't believe in herself. She never believed in herself. And she does it more like, oh, it's just a hobby, but she could have done more than just a hobby. So I appreciate all that to say, like, I appreciate him standing up for himself and standing up and saying something as audacious as only a young kid could do. Only this generation, I feel like, can do. And he did it in a way, besides, like I said, that last part with, like, this isn't, a symbol of me being great or whatever, but, it's a step towards it. I'm like, okay, that's a little too much. But I feel like his generation, my old brother, I think, is part of his generation or so. I think there's this, like, we've had enough of this, like, putting ourselves down for what? You know, just self acceptance, self love, self compassion, self care, and take up space. There is always a learning process to that. You know, oh, I took too much space. Let's pull back a little bit. But yeah, it's refreshing, and I overall support this. It is interesting. I guess I should have seen that coming, that it's people would have issues with it, because like I said, I held my breath at the end there, like when he said like, oh, this award is nothing, basically is what it sounded like he implied, but not necessarily what he implied. But yeah, have a good night, Angel. Good to see you too. I'm also, this is kind of wrapping things up. Um, Excuse me. Last thought of the night, as I promised, unlike the with Love Megan. I promise I'll talk about that tomorrow on tomorrow's live. But the last thought was content creators being blamed or villainized, very likely, if not proven, by Blake's side of taking advantage of all these opportunities of talking about her, about this like drama, about this lawsuit, every little moment, every little thing being scrutinized. Bethany Frankel talking about bullying. It's starting to feel bullyish. And I think it's also kind of like the Timothée Chalamet thing and stuff. It's like there's a nuance to all of it. I think it was Billy Bush or someone said today when I was watching something. There are those characters, content creators, or anyone who you can see and you're like, you don't actually believe what you're saying. I'm pretty sure it was Billy Bush that said this. And then there's content creators or any creator that is, yeah, maybe jumping on this like train, but they have a reason to. They have something in their heart, in their soul, in their gut, in their being, in their essence that is like, I really need to talk about this. This means something to me. And you can see that he was saying, and I agree. I think you can see that just like I'm so freaking fed up with the stupid advertisements. Like, I'm not buying your sponsors. Stop with the sponsors. Stop. Unless you're just being very transparent, saying, hey, today's podcast, today's show, today's video, whatever, is sponsored by this, and just be very neutral. Don't try to make a story about it. Don't try to connect to it. It screams fake most of the time. If you are Bachelor fans or aware, there's the one couple, Shandy. They do a good job in making it relatable to their life and also speaking to the points. They made it work. But most of the time, My Thoughts, the channel My Thoughts, to me, that's like the worst one because she really goes like, she talks about the show and then suddenly like, oh, speaking of car crashes, what is this the example I gave last time too? I think she was talking about something like car repair or something. Like, check these people out or whatever. Donna also has these Jersey Flaw also, but I didn't find her like, too much. But honestly, I'm going to skip through all of these, and I don't see myself ever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what if it comes to me having sponsors one day, and what will I do about that? But I think honestly, like, I hope I'm in a good enough position. Doesn't have to be the best position. Maybe, I would be so much richer if I would take it. But if they don't allow me to just speak it like I'm speaking it now, just like a matter of fact, hey, this is the sponsor, this is not a sponsor, but, let's say this microphone company is sponsoring today's video and this is what they do, this is what they provide, go check them out if you want to. And like, because at the end of the day, that's it. I cannot stand anymore marketing and being sold to and being in that fakeness. Like, I just cannot, like, neurologically, I feel like it's painful. And the same thing with content creation. I had that thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Because this is such a hot topic. And I felt it's a little different than imposter syndrome, but it's a cousin of it, I would say. I felt weird. Like, am I being an opportunist doing this? I knew that I wasn't. I guess I felt like that more so when I was like fighting, like, hear me, internet. I have my thoughts on here too. And that's when I feel really icky and I stopped doing that. Like on people's like channels and stuff. And I wasn't necessarily doing it from a place of self promotion, but more like fighting for my life, for my internet life, for like, I really believe in the things that I have to say, whether, it's stupid or not, but I believe in it in this myopic moment. I don't know how I'll feel about it, later. And it means something to me from that space. And I was like, I really need to get the word out. And I felt, but I hated how I felt. And I stopped doing it. And I'm like, okay, people won't discover me. They won't discover me, whatever. But yeah, I even had that kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Because this is a hot topic. This is not me vlogging about my life that no one cares about. It's that, is it the dichotomy? Is that the phrase where like a double-edged sword? If you talk about things that no one cares about, then why are you even talking about them to other people? And if you're talking about something that everyone cares about, but you don't feel it, you don't have a connection to it, then again, why are you talking about it? Because it needs both. And this Blake Lively thing has its ups and downs where I'm like, I am fed up. I do not care about her. Rarely. I've had, I think, twice I felt this way. And even tonight, I was like, why are we talking? Like, this is getting old. And Bethany was saying kind of a similar sentiment. But also, I keep thinking, like, caution. Because when you give up to speak about something, to have a part in making that one voice louder, that voice gets quieter and the other voice takes over. So that's what I'm worried about. If we all just kind of move on, what is going to happen with Just Inside? The narrative of Blake's side will take over because it's already in the mainstream media type of thing. And that's sometimes what keeps me going when I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to read about her or anyone involved in this. I need to think about something else. Or I think, like, the Oscar movies or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. This is happening. I'm a person that constantly pivots, like, ooh, shiny new thing. And yeah, it's an interesting place to be in. But again, I don't want the voices to quiet too much. So I'll do my part. Unless like we get proven wrong, and then we'll like, oh, whoops, and then we'll cross that bridge if we get there. But it doesn't seem like that at all right now. I'm not saying that it does. So yeah, I don't think a lot of YouTube content creators are talking about this because they're not. I mean, just watch Donna talk. Even Andy. Oh my gosh, I remember like Andy had one video where he just blew up. He was just so fed up. Like all of us have had our moments of just fed up, not with like, why do we have to cover this, but like, stop lying, stop deceiving us. Maybe not lying, but stop deceiving us. Stop manipulating Blake Lively and team. Stop doing that. We can see it. We can literally see it. And yeah, I think every content creator that I've watched, that we watch, is passionate about this. But yeah, is it the hot topic? Absolutely it is. I'm not making money off of it. A lot of people are getting, I don't know, rich, but reaching tens and thousands of viewers from this. Dave Neal got to 100K from like 50 or something, in a weekend, I think. Early days, and a lot of people are getting richer or whatever. But also content creation money is not always rich. It's something that it's like so hard to know what people make. You can see like, well, estimated this is how much this channel makes or this, but it's complicated, so we don't even know. But yeah, I don't know. anyways, those were my 2 cents on that. And with that, I will end this. I almost said podcast. Video, live, broadcast, whatever it is. And I will see you guys tomorrow for With Love, Meghan comments and commentary. I'm excited to talk about this, about her, because she is polarizing for sure. And even in me, like I said, I don't know where I stand about her. Maybe I'll have an answer tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys, for being here tonight, and happy Monday. I'm excited. And yeah, peace, love, and compassion. And have a wonderful night. Bye.